Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I'll be doing the first of my videos for the questions and answers. I'm not sure how many videos this will take, so I'm definitely going to split it and try and keep the time down on them. I want to thank everybody who participated and put in questions. You guys had a lot of really great questions, some that kind of threw me and I had to really think about. So I'm just going to get jumped right in here and we'll get started. So the first person who had questions was, and I apologize if I goof up any of your names, but I'll do my best here, is DanielleEmmie. She sent in 5 questions. The first was the book that got you into reading, as in the one book that made you read more. I've been reading, since I was a child. Always enjoyed books, but I think once I got to high school, my English class introduced me to some really good books. To Kill a Mockingbird was one of my favorites, but the one that really made me search out more books was The Naked Sun by Isaac Asimov. It's book 2 in the Robot series. And I enjoyed it so much. It was like a combination of mystery and sci-fi, and it was really intriguing characters and settings. And so I sought out the other books. There's The Caves of Steel and The Robots of Dawn, and then the series kind of continues a little bit beyond that. And like I said, it was a combination of mystery and sci-fi, so I started branching out into both of those genres and finding more and more authors that I really enjoyed. So that was definitely the one book that kind of launched my interest in reading. The second question was your top 3 embarrassing moments. Okay. In high school, I had my hair permed. Looked like a little blonde orphan Annie. It was horrible. I couldn't wait till it grew out. Second one, I played sports in high school, and I was on in a basketball game. And you ever see those instances where a player kind of gets turned around and heads for the wrong basket? I wasn't that person, but I did block their shot. I mean, they could have scored for us, and I blocked the shot. I think I got as confused as the person I was guarding. And the third one, I don't know, the one that really came to mind, because I was kind of embarrassed about it, was I was downtown in Chicago with a friend of mine, and we were just shopping and walking around, and a whole bunch of people, we were all stopped at a light at the corner, waiting for the light to change, and when it did, started across the street. And I don't know if you've ever seen those kind of like handicap ramps. It's like a little, about so wide from the sidewalk onto the street. I managed to step right on the edge, fall over into the middle of the crowd, and turn my ankle. So I got to lovingly hop all the way back to the train station. Yeah, how many people get injured on a handicap ramp? Brilliant. I am a bit of a klutz. That's one of my, yeah. Number 3. If you could be anywhere right now, where would it be and why? I would love to go to the UK. Ireland, Scotland, England. I would love to go tour over there because I've read so much about the country. I've seen so much of it on all my favorite TV shows. So love to see all these places in person. Love to see Stonehenge and the Houses of Parliament, Piccadilly Circus, and the English countryside. My God, it's so beautiful. So yeah, that's where I would like to go. If you could meet any fictional characters, who would it be? Probably anybody from Doctor Who that's not an alien. Don't want to meet any of those creepy characters. But yeah, all the doctors, all the companions, that would be really cool. And the last question is, if you could do anything right now, what would you do? I'd love to read. I've been filming so many videos. It's like I haven't had a chance to sit down and finish some of the books I'd started. So that would be one of the things right there. And as soon as I finish with these Q&A videos, I'm going to be taking a bit of a break and get some reading done. So thanks for DanielleEmmie for those questions. The next question comes from MrGarsonbugaloo. If you could have lunch with anyone of your choice, living or dead, famous or not, who would you pick and why? Tom Baker, the 4th Doctor. He is just such a really interesting individual, kind of quirky, humorous. I've read his autobiography, and I would just love to hear some of those stories in person from the man. I think he's just a very really interesting person through his career before Doctor Who, as well as what he's been doing since. So yeah, that would be Tom Baker. Sean's Awkward Reviews asks, what's your funniest high school memory? So long ago, high school. Probably being caught in the middle of a food fight and just remember ducking for cover under the tables. Yeah, that'd be one. TheCubicleBlindness asks, where were you born and raised? I was born in the city of Chicago. Spent my first 2 years there living with my parents and my grandparents, and then we moved out into the southern suburbs and been there ever since. Definitely not a city girl. I prefer the suburbs, a little more quiet life. we got a really nice setup because we have kind of an unincorporated area behind us, so there's no immediate neighbors right back there. So it's pretty quiet, nice and peaceful. K.C.Hilton asks, does anyone in your family enjoy reading as much as you do? And does anyone in your family own more books than you do? The answer to both would be no. I am the only reader in my family. I sometimes think the stork dropped me off at a different house. And they don't understand. It's a reading thing. You don't understand. Yeah, I love books, and they read the paper. That's about it. Yeah. So no, they don't any more books. I think the next reader in my family is my sister-in-law. So someone had to marry into the family to be another reader. You'll figure. The next question comes from MacPink912. Do you have any special place or area that you like to read, or do you just read wherever and whenever? I do definitely read wherever and whenever. In the car, as soon as I get to work, I'm sitting in the parking lot waiting to be let in. I'll read there. I'll read on my lunch break. I'll read when I come home in front of the TV during commercial breaks. But probably the one main place I like to read is in my room, in my bed, because this is more quieter, no interruptions, no distractions, and yeah, that's probably my favorite place. Vanilla Hearts 62 has 3 questions. The first one is, can we see where you read? So we are in my room. That's where I'm filming. So hang on one second. I'll just show you the top half because the rest is kind of a bit of a mess. But that's my bed, top of my bed, my headboard, and the light that I use for reading. What's behind there is some of my Doctor Who DVDs and Stargate DVDs. I got like the whole 10 seasons of those. So another favorite show of mine. So that's where I read. Hi, welcome back. Our second question is, the final question is, besides books, what is another one of your passions? Would definitely be art. I love to draw. Been drawing for as long as I can remember. Sometimes not so good, sometimes it's okay. And I'll go into more detail on that. I'll show you some of the works too. I've got a question from Jalen Randolph 1. My question is, what are 3 things that we don't know about you? I'm fairly tall. I'm 5'8". You can't tell because you only see, this much of me. I love sports. I used to play softball, field hockey, and basketball. And that was mostly in high school and a little bit after. And then maybe about 10 years or so out of high school, I went ahead and studied Taekwondo. And, one second. I studied with the ATA, which is the American Taekwondo Association. And I hold a 2nd degree black belt in Taekwondo. Really enjoyed that. Boy, if you want to get in shape, that gets you in shape. And the third thing is, the question from Vanilla Heart 62 is, I love to draw. That's one of my passions, and that's where I'm going to show you some of the work I did. I have a couple, these are pencil drawings. One of my favorite artists was Sidney Paget. He did the illustrations for the Sherlock Holmes stories, and I really liked them, so I wanted to attempt to draw them and stuff, and just kind of try out some new materials I was using. So that's one of them, with Sherlock sitting in a chair, and Sherlock and Dr. Watson on a train. And his illustrations were just really cool, so I had fun drawing those. Oops, them up there, looking in the shop window. I also did some. Now these aren't originals. These are freehand drawings, but they were drawings that I saw somewhere else. This is from Star Trek, Captain Kirk, and kind of a conglomeration of various characters from Star Trek. And these are all done with pencil. This one was kind of cool. It's a Spock. And then kind of like the whole group again, main characters. And then I took these 2 images here, mixed it with one of Spock, and stuck the Enterprise in the middle. I also like to do stuff in color too, so I had come across some really nice ink washes. I don't remember the names of these because these were like quite some time ago, but they were really vibrant colors. And I was just messing around with some manga images I'd seen that I really liked, just to try them out. And there's another one. I mean, these were done probably in 1988, and look how well the colors have stood up. They're gorgeous. That's another one. And then there's this other character I really love, Elric of Melnibone. He's a character created by Michael Moorcock, and he's known as the albino prince, who has a sword called Stormbringer that steals souls. And I had a graphic novel, which I no longer do. If I could find book one again, I would love it. But they had these great, great illustrations in it. And again, I was just trying out these ink washes. And this one I really love because of the reds and stuff in it. It's just really cool. And that's Elric over here with this sword, Stormbringer. And then I had the black and white wash, which I did a really large piece because I like the image of it. I thought it was cool. So that's this one here. Ooh. I like the detail on the sword too. I thought that was cool. I don't know if you can tell, but I stuck my name right here. My last name. Morrow. I'd actually forgotten I'd done that. And then just two other pieces. This is something I had to do in an art class for a project, and it's, I think, George Seurat, all dots. This is all dots. Everything you see in here, even this dark area here, is all created with just dots. And I had, as tedious as you think it might be, it was kind of neat to see the end result, so I decided I want to do one for myself. And I did this one, which was a black and white photo I had seen of leaves. And it just had so many really cool details with all the veins and everything in it, and the layering of the leaves. So yeah, and then I got a frame. It's a really nice frame, the tri-layer there. And again, all dots. This thing must have taken me months and months, but very calming. You're just sitting there, you know. It's almost a meditative process. Yeah, so that's pretty much 3 things you might not know about me. And the very last question is from C.A. Sue1, and she says, I've always wondered about the painting behind you when you film. Is there a story behind it? It looks Native American. So as you can see, that's the painting she's referring to, and it is a Native American design. I went through this phase, I don't know, I think it was after I took a trip to the Southwest, and just loved the artwork over there, and I was looking through some magazines and saw the sculpture of this dancer here, and decided I wanted to do some artwork on it. And actually, it originally started as a small little, this is actually a colored pencil sketch. And what I did was, to create the little marks in the feathers, I took an X-Acto knife and kind of gouged them out first. Then when you go over the colored pencil, it leaves the white behind. So that's that same image you see behind me. And then I made a companion piece of a woman character. And again, these were just both sculptures I'd seen in a magazine that I wanted to do a drawing of. And this is the frame I had put them in. These are just photos of the originals. I actually sold these 2 pieces to a friend of mine who's an interior decorator. So this was like my first official sale of anything I've ever done. And that was kind of hard to let go. It's sort of like your children when you do drawing, you know. But I do have these to kind of remember it, which is nice. And again, continuing with this Southwestern phase I was in, besides that rather big piece. Oh, and these, trying to check my time here. Oops. Anyway, that piece there is made out of what they call pastel chalks. Although pastels, there's a whole range of colors. I had this really nice box set. It had over 100 different colors. And the same board I used for this, it's just an illustration board. That's what that is done on, with those pastels. And I also did another one quite as large. This is a bit more vibrant colors on it. I believe I sold that one too, because I don't have that one anymore. Then I did this one. This was on a piece of slate, and it was about as big as this small illustrated board down here. It was a real thick slate, and this one I really liked it. I thought it came out quite well. And I did sell this one too, and then I also turned it into like a little different version. A little less illustrative, a little more graphic. But I love the colors of it. It was a really interesting material to use, powdery and stuff. It got everywhere, but like I said, it was a lot of fun to do, and I enjoy art, and that's all I have for the questions for today. I'm going to split up, like I said, the rest into another video. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you back next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.